the fields. From the ice to the turf, we'll break it down. Discussing every win and every loss in town. We'll talk about the Canucks and the Lions. We are your irrational fans. We are your irrational fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, episode 109 of the Hughes Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jake Hughes, alongside the old man all the way in Roatan, Honduras. Old man, how are you doing? Sorry, I don't think we can legally show you drinking that.
Oh, you can?
No, we
Damn.
can. We can. You're good.
Oh, you're good. Hey, I was going to say, yeah, we've done this before. What, you think I got water in the cup most days? Probably not.
Well, especially when you're in beautiful Roatan, Honduras.
Oh, it is a special little place here. I'm at the Beach House Hotel in Roatan, literally on the beach. I walk out my unit and the beach is right there. It's been, when did I get here? Shit, Wednesday? Thursday? Wednesday.
Last week Wednesday.
Yeah, I got here Wednesday, leaving tomorrow. Sucks that I'm leaving tomorrow. But it's been a great holiday. Did some cool stuff. Won't get into it, but yeah, it was a good one. It's been good.
And last week we were absent, kind of a last minute thing, but I ended up going to the Canucks game to watch what's probably been the closest to a playoff atmosphere game since last year's playoffs. To watch the Calgary Flames and Vancouver Canucks, and the Canucks winning that in a shootout. And let me tell you,
I'm away for 1 week, and you're
away for 2 weeks. You were away for 2 weeks
this week.
You are here this week. Technically, you're on the show, but you're not here.
Well, at the same time,
it's true.
So I'm kind of there. It's not the only difference is I'm in a different country. And the temperature.
Is the time zone the same?
Huh? Time zone's the same, yeah. It's 8:02 here and it's 8:02 where you are.
It is 7:02 in the Pacific.
Pacific Daylight Time. We're in Mountain Daylight Time, and here we're in Central America time. I don't know.
Who knows? But what I do know is the Canucks have gone 5-3 since the last time we spoke, coming off a very big win last night against the Winnipeg Jets in a game that was slated on this stretch of games as one of the hardest games. The Jets are leading. I think they're leading the league.
If not, they're leading the West for sure.
They're definitely leading the West. I don't know if they're leading the league. No,
I don't think they're leading the league. I think they're just leading the West.
Yeah, they're in second. They're in second place. They're right behind the Capitals.
And we didn't just beat them. Let's face it. We beat them.
Again, we talked about this. If you just look at the scoreline, it looks like we dominated. It's not. Don't get me wrong. We played very well.
The fish said, they whispered in my ear earlier.
The fish are talking to you? I think it's time to detox, maybe?
Yeah.
Sorry, but the fish talked to you?
And they said we kicked their ass. That's what the fish said.
All right.
I don't have the toucan, so I needed the fish to talk to me.
All right, makes sense.
They're the only ones that make sense on this whole entire program, but me.
You want to retake that sentence? No, I think the Canucks played very, 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 very well last night.
They did.
But I also think the game could have been very easily flipped on its head if one bounce went the opposite way.
You could say that about a lot of games, right?
100%.
Hockey's a game of inches, and we came out on the right side of that inch. And Jesus, what a game. I hate Sportsnet.
Well, you don't hate Sportsnet. You hate international travel restrictions and not understanding media rights.
But, even trying to listen to the game. I gave up. I wasn't going to be able to watch it. I get it. I'm in a different country. Sportsnet won't let me. So I went to listen to 650, our home and native country radio station. And I don't know why I had to say it that way. And it wouldn't play. Both games,
that is kind of weird.
The Boston game, or no, the Chicago game, I had to listen to the Chicago announcers. I know you're listening, Chicago announcers, so holy crap, learn how to call hockey. That was the worst ever I've ever heard of anything calling a hockey game.
Well, to be fair, if you have had to watch however many games of Chicago play hockey this year, I'd be disengaged too and not wanting to call anything that's happening.
Oh, come on. How many times has Jim Robson been on a losing it season and he still sounded amazing? And he passed the puck and then he scored.
But again, like you want to talk about a shit organization?
Chicago.
They're a 360 win percentage.
They're bad. And they're not even in last place. That's the funny part.
San Jose has just taken a new level to losing. It's been impressive. They're the only team that has been eliminated from playoff contention this early. Oh, and we lost the old man. He will be back. I know he will be back. We had a perfect connection the entire time. Like, we've been chatting for half an hour. The entire time it's been fine, and we get into the show and he crashes. It's typical. He probably forgot to plug his computer in, let's be honest. Yeah, the only team that's eliminated, and we're not even into April yet, which is impressive. I'm just going to rag the puck here while the old man hopefully gets everything back up and running very shortly. But yeah, I think the Canucks have played very well over the last 8 games. Welcome back. Look at that. I didn't even have to rag the puck all that long.
Like, seriously, over a half hour we're talking before and everything was fine.
Yep. I literally just said that.
And I plugged the computer in, dickhead. Jesus. Yes, I could hear everything you were saying. You're such a jerk.
Hey, how many times has it happened where, like, literally we're minutes away or the intro is running and you have to run and plug your computer in?
It happened once.
It's happened at least 50 times in the 109 episodes.
That's not true whatsoever. Jake, stop making shit up.
Okay, it's probably happened at least 10% of the time.
No, that is not even close.
You don't even. I think you don't even believe that.
I don't. I don't believe that. You're on drugs.
You don't even think
Jake,
10.
Jake,
You don't
Jake,
even think
because they're legal
11
doesn't mean you should do gummies every day.
You don't think there's been 11 times where right before we go live you've had to run to go get water and or plug your computer in?
Well, now we're talking water. I mean, that's different.
That's prepping. That's prepping for the show.
I prepped all day.
You did prep all day. I unfortunately have been at appointments all day and my mouth is still sore, but we can get through it. You're an idiot.
Oh, Jaco.
But let's continue on with the Canucks.
Yes.
You haven't been able to watch a lot of the games. You've been able to keep up with the highlights as best you can.
I watched the highlights after the game. I listened to the games both times. I've had to listen to first Chicago and then Winnipeg. Winnipeg's announcers were a little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better than Chicago's. A whole lot better than Chicago's. They were.
Again, Winnipeg's a fun team. Of course you're having fun.
Yes. But it was kind of cool to listen to them talk about the Canucks and say things like, well, once they got rid of Miller, Petey's really taken off. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He hasn't really taken off yet. He's had some good games, but he hasn't been dominating.
Until this most recent stretch, he has been playing worse since Miller left.
Yes. I was like, this is weird. But yeah. Anyway, I watched the highlights closely of last night's game because I was so excited. Obviously, it was 6-2 and we dominated somewhat. And it was cool to see because you're listening to it and you're listening to the Winnipeg announcers, and they're just, it was pure luck that we got any goals, according to them. But I mean, Besser's first goal, that deflection that was a goal scorer's goal, right? And good for Besser. It was the first one in what?
I think 15
games, and then he comes back and scores the second one.
Not only that, gets the assist on the second goal, and then scores his second, and has a shot at the empty net and just misses.
Yeah, so I think all around this last week and a half, 8 games, to even 10 games. I mean, we're 5-5, which isn't great over 10 games, but we're holding our own. As I called months ago, we're going to make. Don't you roll your eyes at me, big boy. You were Team Tank.
Still don't think it's a bad option.
Folks, you wonder why I need to drink on the air.
No, that's a personal choice. You can't blame me for your own personal choices.
You make me the gray hair. It's your
that
fault.
I can take some responsibility for. But in talking about the Canucks making the playoffs, they are leading the wild card pack. They have 75 points in 68 games, giving them a .551 point percentage in the second wild card spot. Tied in points with St. Louis, but St. Louis has played one more game at 69 points. And 2 points up, the Canucks and Blues are on the Flames, who've played one less game than the Canucks, giving them a .545 point percentage. Right. And then you do have kind of a long shot at this point who've played the same amount of games as the Canucks, the Utah Hockey Club at 71 points.
Now, did I read somewhere? Squirrel. Did Utah pick a name?
They're in the process of picking their name still.
Oh, okay. Because I read one of those stupid Canuck freaking Facebook groups that we follow.
I think they narrowed it down to like their last 3 and are having teams vote or fans vote on it. Then after the season, like in the offseason, they're going to announce their name. I personally think they should stick with the Utah Hockey Club. I think it's so unique and so different, and you can literally run back a different jersey every single year and sell more merch that way. You can have different jerseys for different years. It gives you way more flexibility than just being like, I mean, you're the St. Louis Blues. You're stuck with having blue as your main color. Like the Ducks.
Utah, you can do anything.
Literally. Like they're a baby blue right now.
You could put 9 wives across the front. I think I broke Jake, folks.
I thought we might have a controversy-free podcast, but talking to the old man in Honduras, here we are.
We
could.
It could be the Utah 9 Wives.
I think that's a worse name than any name that they've put forward.
Utah Mormons?
I think the Utah Hockey Club is still better. In my personal opinion. Especially I think it's just such a unique name, unique branding opportunity. And I like Bayern FC, Bayern Football Club. They have different jerseys every couple of years because of their and their sponsorships are changed across the front because they know how to.
Yes, I was
gonna say they know how to monetize their athletes rather than have commercials throughout the game for 50% of it.
No, I think we're a what's the word I'm looking for? We have names. We're not the hockey club. So they will be forced at some point. They will be forced.
I don't think so. I don't think that's a hill that Bettman's willing to die on.
You never know.
It does.
You never know.
To me, if it was something that Bettman was willing to die on, it would have A, been already announced, or B, it would have never been Utah Hockey Club for this year. They would have been just forced to pick a name.
True enough, right?
Speaking of Gary Bettman, though.
Oh, did you know something? I just looked up. I realized I got a package of Skittles, which I thought was hilarious because your nickname used to be Skittles. It's Father's Day in Roatan. They celebrate Father's Day today.
Wow.
In March. And the hotel gave me a card to wish me a happy Father's Day and gave me a little thing of Skittles.
That is
how cool is that? I kind of chuckled because I went, Skittles, Dad, your name used to be, your nickname was literally Skittles.
True. Because I wore bright colored clothing.
True story. Yes. Anyway,
staying on the well, we kind of scrolled away, but you piqued something in my brain talking about Bettman and everything. The NHL GM meetings were happening this past weekend. Bettman spoke with the media,
and he actually said he didn't want to expand overtime.
Yes, I was going to touch on everything he talked about, so I haven't ordered for this because I'm reading an article.
Fine.
Spoke with the media today. Earlier today, confirmed CBA talks are to begin in April. So, like in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Basically, 2 weeks from now, they're going to start talking CBA, which means hopefully we're going to have a solution and a ratified CBA early. The fact that they've already agreed on the salary cap, they're going over playing in the Olympics. There's already a working agreement, and I think the new NHLPA boss has a better working relationship with Bettman right now. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, there was a lot of shit back and forth between him and I think his name was Daly at the time. Now there's a new I can't think of the guy's name, but they seem to at least be working together rather than fighting each other.
Well, it can't be any worse.
They talked about the Four Nations face-off and how it raised the bar for future All-Star games, and they're contemplating how to get the intensity at that level for all All-Star games.
If they go back to an All-Star format,
there's one way to do it. There's one way to do it, and they will never do it. The winner of the All-Star game gets home ice advantage for the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
No, they'll never do that.
No, not anymore. They used to. They don't anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because then winning the league means nothing then.
False narrative. False narrative. You have home ice. You have home ice advantage for 3 rounds of the playoffs.
Well, you should have a home ice advantage all the way through.
Not if you want the if you want the All-Star game to mean something, because there's nothing you can do. There's not a thing you can do that are going to motivate the players unless you're doing a Four Nations or an Olympics. Yeah. And if you're not putting the Stanley Cup home rights.
And every 2 years it will be either the World Cup or
so then you
Olympics.
Have those. You only have
one off.
So you can't even do my idea because it's not going to happen every year.
No, and you're never going to duplicate what happened in the Four Nations this year. It was special. It was different because of the animosity between Canada and the U.S. So I don't think you're ever going to be able to actually duplicate it.
I think you can.
Does that make sense?
In the off chance that there's still the political turmoil that's happening in Eastern Europe, and Belarus and Russia are still not invited to IIHF events, meaning the Olympics. The next Four Nations is going to be not just Four Nations, it's going to be an international tournament. And Bettman has said multiple times that he wants to include a Russian team.
Didn't he say something in this interview about they had a discussion, or Trump and
something
Putin
about an NHL KHL, and I haven't been able to read up on it. I've been, like I mentioned earlier, I've been in and out of appointments all day today. But there was something Trump said about talking with Putin about NHL KHL play, like having an NHL.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was
having an
one of
NHL
those-
team play in Russia or something like that against a KHL
Yeah.
team.
I was
Yeah.
like, what? What?
I hope
What?
I hope it.
Yeah, I didn't get
Batman
it, but
poo-pooed it and was like, "Yeah, no one ever talked to us about that."
no, and it's not happening.
Exactly.
So go away. You don't tell us what to do.
But yeah, if it's the first time that Russia's back allowed to play in international play, I think you could definitely have that type of animosity towards a team.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. If Russia's back.
Yeah.
Wow. Right?
Which is, I think, more likely.
What has to happen? Let's talk about it. What has to happen for Russia
in
to
double
come
IHF
back?
or in the NHL tournament?
Whew. Let's talk the Olympics first.
Ceasefire. They have to. The war has to be over. The double IHF has confirmed that the war has to be over before they're invited back in.
Not just a ceasefire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the NHL tournament, the World Cup, would have to be along the same lines, wouldn't it?
Why? It's run by the NHL and HLPA. You could say only NHL players.
Yeah, that's true.
Double IHF has nothing to do with it.
True. And I mean, if there's enough Russian players in the NHL, then is there enough NHL Russians?
Probably, yes. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you could do it.
The problem is that if you have if you don't include double IHF, there's going to be some countries that don't have enough NHL players to play. Right?
Yeah.
So
because that now you're not doing the 4 nations anymore because you're doing the 8
and
with
right. So you've got Canada, USA, Finland, Sweden, Russia.
It's 5.
You need 3 more teams. Because to me, easily you could have
Germany
doesn't have enough NHLers.
No.
Like you could do. To me, you need 2 other teams, and then.
Did you count Finland? Yeah,
the 4 in the 4 nations, and Russia. Right?
Yeah.
What you could do.
Yeah, Germany.
You'd need to pull from double IHF. What you could do is, again, you'd still need to pull from double IHF for a Germany and a Switzerland team. Or a Denmark team. Like I'm thinking the teams that are always up and down in that last spot.
Yeah.
And then do a European team, a rest of European.
Well, you could do a Czech team,
I don't think they have enough players in the NHL. Right?
No,
so you'd have Germany or Switzerland, whichever one, and the Czechs.
Yeah.
Czechia.
Or you just do
and then do the rest of Europe as your 8th team. But either way, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
It will be,
Batman announced the puck will drop on the 25-26 season on October 7th next year.
Saw that.
The NHL will be debuting a new decentralized format for the NHL draft, meaning the idea of having insiders being able to watch a GM walk over to another table and have conversations is now gone. However, the players expect to be chosen early will still be in attendance. So they'll still come up on stage with either a representative or with Gary Bettman to accept their jersey, to take pictures and do media and everything. It's what the NFL does.
I know, but I still like the I'm old school. I like that everybody in the same room. You have cameras everywhere. You can see.
But why do you need it nowadays?
Canucks. Well, because, like you say, the insiders can talk about it.
You do realize that the reason Jeff Merrick is no longer with Sportsnet is because he was able to tweet out the results before they were live because he was able to get information from being there live.
Yes.
They don't want the media involved in that type of thing. They want the media attention. They don't want the insiders to spoil the surprises.
But can you have it both ways?
And
No.
Bettman did voice his
Right?
displeasure over it, saying it's not something he wants
He
or
did.
something he likes, but it's
No.
like how much money are you saving in travel, and how much are you saving in like looking at it from a green perspective? You're not flying all these people to one location for a weekend.
You're definitely saving millions of dollars. Millions.
Well, and most
plural,
of these guys are
of dollars.
chartering, like they'll have their own charter planes. Those planes aren't flying anymore.
yeah.
That's
They
thousands
keep-
and thousands of emissions that are being saved. I know the NHL doesn't look at it
Yeah.
that way, but it's a
Well,
happy accident or a happy piece that they don't need to. You can have these
Yeah, I don't
blockbuster
know.
trades without knowing who's talking to whom.
But haven't you always
Oh, to
to
the
a
draft?
draft,
Oh, 100%.
right? Think about it. The next generation won't know what it's like. It's kind of sad. I in my opinion.
But people still go to the NFL draft to be around the media and watch their top prospects get selected.
Yeah, but it's not the same, I don't think. What is it going to be? The top 5, top 10, top 20, top 30? What like?
So usually they do the first round on the first night.
Yes.
So I would assume you're your first anyone who's expected to be
32.
drafted in the first round. I'd say probably your top 40,
Right.
40, 45
Right.
are going to be there in attendance because you could have all sorts of weird issues and things like that. But I don't hate it. I want to see how it's done.
Yeah.
Before judging it. There's a part of me that's going to miss that, seeing the tweets of, oh, just saw Patrick Alvin pick up the phone and New Jersey just picked up their phone. Wonder what they're talking about. Jersey has these picks, right? Like you're going to miss that type of thing.
Yes. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
But yeah, we'll see. But then as you mentioned before we got into talking all the changes and updates from Bettman shoots down changes to overtime and playoff format. That's specifically about making 5-on-5 3-minute 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime.
Easy for you to say.
Apparently not. Into a longer 10-minute period. Basically said, don't want the wear and tear on players. It's not going to be good for anyone. Then when asked about 1v8, 2v7 instead of the wildcard format, Bettman basically said, nope, this way works better for us.
Right.
So don't expect any changes on that soon.
Yeah.
He also announced that no rule changes were proposed during the GM.
Zero, which surprised me. But, I mean, what rules would you want to change besides overtime?
The review process, to me. Put a time limit on it. A sensor in a puck that can be detected if it goes across the line or not. Because
Why
that
can't
Dakota
you do that? Like,
there's a Dakota Joshua goal that clearly went in, but because the pixels of the cameras are not good enough to catch a puck that's moving at such a high rate of speed, because they don't replace the cameras with high enough quality cameras.
Yeah.
But
and how about let's look at the over the glass.
I like the over the glass rule.
I don't know. There's too many times where it's unintentional and it's called.
But you can't, and we've talked about this before, and I always go back to the 2011 playoffs.
2011.
Yeah, 2011, not the run. 2010, the year before the run.
Yeah.
When there was a call overturned because, and quote from the official on the ice, we knew the intention was to kick it in.
Oh, do you remember that? We lost our freaking minds.
I was in Germany for losing my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
So you can't change it to be a intent-based rule, because then you have to judge the intent of the player.
Exactly.
But
It's a tough one. Yeah, it's But yeah, so no rule change, no extra overtime, which is disappointing. I was hoping to see a 5-minute overtime come in. Oh, did I freeze again?
No, you're
Or did
good.
he?
I
I'm
hear you.
guessing it was me.
You're loud and clear. I can hear you.
Oh, you froze. That was you,
Nope.
not me.
Nope.
Yeah,
That's
man,
just
you froze.
that was just your computer.
Okay, fine. Be like that. I think I have gremlins.
It's probably called Roatan Wi-Fi.
There could very, very well be that. Yeah, great hotel. Super nice hotel. But the Wi-Fi isn't. Well, the Wi-Fi is okay.
I
Wi-Fi is
mean,
not bad.
to be fair, you're not there to be on the Wi-Fi. You're there to enjoy Roatan. So
Exactly.
who cares about the Wi-Fi? Circling back to the Canucks, we got very sidetracked there because that wasn't even a rundown, but I'm glad it came up. Let's talk about this first, then we'll talk about the other thing. Is PD back?
Oh, it is Pete. Ouch. Ow.
7 points in the last 5 games.
Ow.
He's on a 5-game heater.
He's definitely more back than he was. How's that for a non-committal answer? I mean, 7 points in 5 games. Think about that. If he was doing 7 points in 5 games through the whole season,
it'd be pretty all right.
It would be okay. It would be okay there.
Can you say he's back though? We briefly talked about this offline.
No, I don't think you can actually say he's back. He's definitely playing better, and with more confidence. You can kind of see that his confidence level has come way up. So, yeah, he's back. Do I want to see him take it to the next level? Yeah. Right. So kind of back. Does that make sense? Half, 3/4?
I think he's back in the sense that he's not the shell of himself that was that 4 or 5 game road trip where it was like he's not literally not playing at an AHL level. But if we take that 5-game sample, it's a very small sample.
It is.
And you said if he's doing that over a season, what does that look like? 115 points in an 82-game sample.
And we're laughing. We're literally laughing about this now, aren't we?
Right? Like, and that's the difference between, like, even if you pull that back over the last, 8 games, just to get like a sample of like not great, he still had 73 points.
That's not bad.
Right? This year he's on pace for
20.
It's
bad.
It's bad. Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. Bad. Let's hope this continues, and as we get into the playoffs, he picks it up and keeps it going, because this is what we need. We need PD playing PD style. We need Hughes healthy.
Yep.
We need our defense healthy. Let's face it. Our defense have been an unhealthy bunch.
But they're all healthy right now.
They're all healthy right now.
Right? Like
Hughes was skating around like a dynamo last night from the highlights I saw.
Oh, he always is.
Right?
And we need to talk about this because there's been some slander in social media land.
What?
That people are saying that Cale Makar is better than Hughes defensively. And that is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. He's better physically, 100%. Makar is also twice the size of Hughes. So that's absolutely absurd to think anything else.
There's nobody that has put on the skates in the last 3, 4 years, 5 years that is a better hockey player at his position than Quinn Hughes.
The big thing for me is that people are like, oh, well, but like Cale Makar's on a winning team. Yeah, Cale Makar is on a winning team. But you know who's driving that winning? Not Cale motherfucking Makar.
Thank you.
It's Nathan McKinnon. It's Landeskog when he was healthy.
Yes.
Like, if you look at the minutes that Makar plays with McKinnon, it's fantastic. When he's away from McKinnon, he's a great defenseman, but he's not superstar level. What does that tell you? That tells you that McKinnon is the one driving play.
Well, yeah. And I mean, you look at our team is centered around Hughes. They look at Hughes as the quarterback of the play. Doesn't matter if it's on face-off. It doesn't matter if it's on power play or not. Yeah. Hughes is literally the quarterback of our team.
Yeah.
right? He could take this team on his shoulders, and he's done it game after game after game after game after game. So to all these assholes
Who
who
don't
are
watch
saying,
him.
huh?
The thing that bugs me is they'll be like, oh, well, based off of his stance. Yeah, okay, you don't watch him then. And this is coming from someone who's fucking loves his stats. There's so much you can get from stats. But if you look at there's a game like 4 or 5 games. There was a game 4 or 5 games ago that said Elias Pettersson had a great game. And then you watch the game and you're like, yeah, he had a great game because nothing happened when he was on the ice. And nothing good, nothing bad. So nothing happened on the ice, which is a good game. That's a terrible way to look at things. And don't you even start with me because I've always said that. You can have an eye test of a player and say, wow, Victor Mancini is playing fantastic.
You have always said the stats don't lie.
Stats don't lie. PD had a good game, as in nothing happened. But when you watch the game,
out of both sides of your mouth. I don't know how you do it, and you
what are you
actually
talking about?
You actually think you're making fucking sense when you do it.
PD had a good game based off the stats. You can have a fantastic game based off the stats, but if you're on the ice when 0 things happen, that just means
that's not a good game then.
But it is. But based off of the stats, that's a good game. All right, Jar Jar Binks, let's calm down.
See, you do this to me every time. You get my blood pressure up. Now I got to go take pills to bring my blood pressure back down.
You're what down? Sorry, you slurred a little there.
Did I slur a little there?
Your blood pressure? Your blood pressure.
We're getting canceled.
They can't cancel us. Who's gonna cancel us?
That's true.
We don't get paid for this shit.
What are they gonna do? Fuck them.
Who is them?
We're not gonna have any sponsors. Oh shit, we don't have any sponsors.
The point I was making is that people watch these goddamn stupid stats and say that Cale Makar is a better defenseman than Quinn Hughes, needs to go get their eyes checked. Literally, people are saying, oh, well, Hughes is playing protected minutes. He's not out there against the top lines.
What?
The guy plays like 35 minutes a night. What are you talking about?
These are the idiots that don't watch any West teams. They watch their Eastern games, and that's it.
You know who started it this week? Chris Pronger.
Oh, what an idiot! He was an idiot player. Now he's an idiot announcer.
Does he even announce, or does he just?
Yeah, he does color, or does like.
They're called analysts. They're called analysts now.
They give him a mic and he fucking talks.
It's almost as bad as the choke artist himself.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the fucking mic during the TNT intermissions.
Okay, tell us all who the choke artist.
That's Messier. Who the fuck else would it be? Oh, I need a spit bucket.
I need a spit bucket. Oh, fuck, you're killing me. Okay.
Ridiculous. But back to the point.
What point?
Hughes.
That point. We're still on Hughes, are we?
Hughes at one point was on the betting odds to be a Hart nominee or a Hart finalist, Hart Trophy finalist.
Was he?
Makar's never been in that conversation. Not even close to that conversation because
he's last year, wasn't he?
No, Makar was came in second place to Quinn Hughes for the Norris.
Yes.
Not for Hart. The Hart is MVP of the league.
Right. Yes.
Or sorry, most valuable player to your team. That's the way it's worded.
Right. Now does Quinn Hughes get it this year, or has he been hurt too much?
I think he's been hurt too much, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree.
I think usually your limit is about that 70 to 73 games.
So does Makar get it then?
I think Makar. I think Werenski has a better should be very, very unsung playing out of Columbus, but Zach Werenski has been fantastic this year.
Okay.
If I had a vote, and clearly I don't because I'm not a writer
But
for
we're media.
the
We
NHL.
should get a vote.
That's the dream one day to get a vote.
Well, I think the Toucan should come in, and we should get a vote.
I'm sure if you follow his nose to the Fruit Loops, the Lucky Charms guy will be there, and if you get his Lucky Charms, you'll get a vote.
What the hell are you talking about Lucky Charms for?
The fucking Fruit Loop, the Fruit Loops, the toucan, he follows his nose and finds the Fruit Loops.
He doesn't find a
And
Lucky Charm.
He's friends with the Lucky Charms guy.
No, he's not.
And they all hate Snap, Crackle, and Pop because obviously that just makes sense. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Like out of the like,
why
out of
do
the
we have
cereal-
126
out of
people
this-
watching this talking about Snap, Crackle, and Pop and
Out
Fruit
of-
Loops?
out of all of the like cereal mascots, it's like the Trix Rabbit, the honeycomb, the Sugar Crisp Bear, the Toucan, 13 piles of shit, and then the Rice Krispies, like Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Wow.
Look, they're boring. They're just three white dudes who are like, rice is pretty good. Like what?
Why do you have to say three white dudes? Why
Because
can't
they
you
are
say-
three white dudes.
If they were black, would you say three black dudes?
They'd at least be interesting. There's three white dudes. Boring. Kill them off and bring in some color.
We're definitely being kicked off Facebook now. Jesus.
Look,
I blame his mother.
I blame you. You're not here. I had the day off. I've been feeling really rested.
I'm here.
All of my you're here, but you're not here. It's very different.
No.
You're in vacation. No. You're here. You're on the show. You're not here. Mentally, you're on vacation mode. Everything's just chill. We're vibing. I'm on days off. He's been drinking since at least 11 o'clock this morning.
I think it was 11.
I think I texted you at noon and you had already been 3 deep. So
It's something like that. Hey, it was 5 o'clock somewhere. That's what the neighbor and I said.
Australia, sure. Yeah, somewhere. Before we wrap up,
Actually, I want to bring something up before we wrap up.
after the Canucks talk, we'll get into that because
Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about. But the last thing I want to talk about, we're getting into that season, whether we make the playoffs or not. Brock Besser has not signed a new contract. We did not trade him. Do we sign Brock Besser?
He actually made a comment to the media this week. He said this was the longest, coming up to the trade deadline was the longest week of his entire life next to his dad passing.
Yeah.
I think he wants to play here.
I think he does too, but I also think he wants to get paid properly.
Yeah, of course, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're on your last contract.
No.
How old is he?
28?
Yeah, so you think he's going to play past 35?
Yeah.
He's looking for a 7-year contract, 8-year contract.
Yeah, I think he probably has another 1 or 2, like maybe 1 or 2 more years max.
Max.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
So, do we sign him if he's willing to sign a 4 or a 5-year contract?
Oh, I thought you said we're saying 4 or 5 million. I'm like, yeah,
No.
that's basically what Jim Rutherford did and insulted him.
Yeah, no. 5 years, 6 mil? You think 8?
So according to AFP Analytics, I know I've talked about them a lot, but they are very accurate with their projections. Hey, look, it's not my math. I don't understand how they do it, but they're very accurate with their predictions. Like,
Yeah.
they say the projected contract details for Brock Besser is 7 years, $9 million, just over $9 million,
9 million. Fuck.
which is only 9% of our cap space. If you think about it, going like
Yeah, so
starting next year, it's only 9% of your cap. It's not even 10.
Does he take a hometown discount if he wants to play here and go 8?
7 years, 8 million?
6 years, 8?
Sure, 6 years, 8.
If his agent comes and says he'll sign 6 years, 8 million, you're in charge. What do you do?
I don't sign him.
Really?
I don't
You let
sign
him walk.
I think I think Brock Besser's a fantastic player as a fan. I think he has been a loyal servant and a fantastic face of the franchise for so many years. I don't think he's what we need at this time.
Really? So you let him walk?
Because we only have $14 million of cap space.
But we literally will let him walk for 0.
I would have traded him at the deadline.
But we didn't. So you let him walk for free.
Yep.
I think there's a deal going to be done. I really do. I can't.
I think if you're making a deal, I think it has to be 5 years at 7.5, which I think is too low, to be completely honest. Like, I think if you take 7.5, I think that's a
hometown huge discount.
Huge. I mean, that's $1.5 million a year for 6 or 7 years, 5, 6, 7 years. That's a lot of money you're leaving on the table.
That's tons.
I also think that Brock Besser is he takes things personally. And I think the way that the situation was handled was not
go figure.
The most professional from this.
The Canucks not being professional. Go figure.
Do you think, and something that I haven't heard anything about, do you think Francesco got involved and kiboshed any potential deals?
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think?
I mean, owners have been known to get involved before,
especially this ownership group, because if you sold Brock for a first-round pick and didn't have plans to flip it, that's you're giving up on the season at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you don't have a plan to flip it, okay, cool. You just let a 30, 40 goal scorer walk out the door.
For a first rounder. And weren't they offered a first rounder?
Supposedly no, supposedly yes.
Yeah.
Some people say yes, but it was a part of a bigger deal they wanted a prospect that was a no-go from the Canucks. Some people are saying no, there was straight up a first rounder for Brock offered and it was turned down. I don't think we'll know for years. I think it'll come out eventually maybe, but
interesting.
It's something to keep on the back of your mind. We might be seeing the last 10, 15 games of Brock Besser's career as a Vancouver Canuck. Is that
all we got left?
Let me pull it up.
I thought we had like 18 or 19. I have no idea.
We have played 68 games, meaning there are 14 games left.
That's it, eh? Wow. Wowza. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here.
And we play tomorrow night.
Play a huge game tomorrow night.
Huge standing implications game. Starts at 4:30 Pacific time.
Oh, Jesus. So that's 5:30 our time.
5:30 our time. Because it's in St. Louis as we start a road trip that is going to be very, very important for us. But the nice thing is that the Calgary Flames play at 5 o'clock our time, 4 o'clock Pacific time against the New Jersey Devils.
So they lose.
We need them to lose, and Buffalo and Utah are playing.
Well, so Utah will win.
Well,
Buffalo's not bad this
year.
Yeah.
They're Buffalo.
They're not horrible.
They're Buffalo.
They're Buffalo.
They're just as cursed as we are. It's the expansion franchise curse.
If we win this game against St. Louis, tomorrow, that really does put us in the driver's seat. For the rest
to be fair, we are in a driver's
seat. Locked.
No, we are in the driver's seat. Like, we control our own destiny here.
We really do. We don't have to rely on anybody else. It's win and you're in.
Yeah.
Keep winning and you're in. It's just that simple. Win more than you lose.
Playoff odds, if next game is a win in regulation, we jump from 36.5% to 51%.
Yeah.
So if we lose In regulation, we dropped down to 25%.
Yeah.
So it's a
Big.
26% swing
Yeah.
if we win this in regulation.
So let's win this one and carry on. Because let's face it, you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. Look what happened last night. We beat the best team in the West. Can we do that 4 times? Lankinen get hot? Why not? Why can't we?
Anything can happen in the playoffs to a certain degree.
Well, anything can happen. I mean, you weren't around in 82. We finished in 8th.
Yeah, and we also got the most luckiest. That is literally a playoff bracket that has never been repeated, ever.
It could happen again.
But it hasn't.
It has.
It's happened once in the entirety of the NHL, in the entirety of recorded NHL history. It has happened once. And the Canucks were the benefit of it. What sort of luck suck do you think we are as a franchise to be able to have it happen twice and happen both times to us?
It would be nice. It would be nice.
I mean, the problem is, like, if you look at the playoff bracket right now.
Actually, I saw something that said Winnipeg would be in if the playoffs started today and everything went according to stats, Winnipeg
would win the cup.
I think that's what they said.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. That's only because I think they've played Hellebuck too much. Yeah. And it happens every single year. They're fantastic, but he plays 65 games and then runs himself into the ground. But yeah, right now, if we somehow manage to beat the Jets, you're then facing the winner of the Stars and Avalanche. That's good luck.
Yeah.
They're the two teams that loaded up with the most players.
Yeah.
In at the trade deadline. It's
anything can happen. Just watch.
Anything can happen, but it won't.
Well, you can't say that. Like just off the top of your fucking head. Oh no, we're not gonna make it out of the first round.
Okay, so what's
gonna happen?
You're gonna put money? You're gonna put your drunken money where your mouth is?
No.
I was gonna say $50 to a charity of the winner's choice.
Okay.
Deal.
I thought he was gonna make me shave my head or do something.
No. I said money. I didn't say ridiculous bet. I mean, if it was me and almost anyone else, I'd offer my hair up, but $50 to a charity of our choice.
Yeah. We make it I say we make it past the first round.
Yeah. I don't see that happening in any way, shape, or form.
Let's go, Canucks. Prove him wrong, Mr. Team Tank. Yes, you wanted to freaking tank this season, and I'm going to rub it in your nose.
So, what we do know will happen is the Canucks are playing tomorrow night against
St. Louis.
And
then that's the first of 6 on the road.
Over the weekend, both Calgary and Vancouver will be playing in New York at the same time.
Oh, really?
Both teams, I think we're playing the Islanders. They're playing the Rangers within like a half-hour start of each other.
Isn't that wild?
So 2 games that will be definitely scoreboard watching for.
Yes.
But if there's something else that might be happening, and I think that's where you were going to talk about. You said you wanted to talk about something before the end of the show.
It had nothing to do with the Canucks.
Nope. Something else that's going to be happening with the show.
What?
Oh my God. It's like you've just been drinking all day.
What are you talking about?
What were you going to talk about?
I was going to talk about the fact, because it's almost CFL season.
Yeah. So what's happening with the show?
I don't know. What's happening with the show? What are you talking about?
Just go with your announcement.
No, there's no announcement. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
All right.
We have a little bit of. We're having a little bit of communication.
As it's almost CFL season.
How the hell have we not heard who the commissioner is?
Oh, that's what you're on about.
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who cares? You don't care?
I really don't.
Why?
Because it's going to change nothing for next season. This next season's already like everything's going ahead as planned. Who cares?
But you know what is happening?
Oh, he finally caught on, folks.
I was playing with him the whole time, folks. I had it up on my phone the whole time. We have had a confirmation that David Mackie, ex-BC Lion, is the new executive director of the CFLPA. We're trying to get him on our show the next little bit, but they're holding off. They're having their AGM in the last week of March, so we will. I'll reach out to them in April, and we're going to have the executive director of the CFLPA on our show. I'm going to try to work with the CFLPA during the season and see if we can't do something on a weekly basis with them, which I think will be really freaking cool. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, and also something else that's happening with the show. The format of the show might be changing a little bit. In the fact that I have started a job in which shift work is required, where starting literally next week, I will be working during the time we normally go live. We're still working out all the logistics. The show more than likely will still be coming at you live every single Wednesday.
I don't know how this is going to work, folks. So bear with us.
I might not be on the show live, but I'll definitely we'll pre-record something. We'll try to pre-record guests. The old man will probably be live, but again, there's a lot of question marks up in the air as to what exactly the show is going to look like. But the show will continue. Keep an eye on our socials at HSP_pod everywhere except for Blue Sky, which is just HS Pod.
Just HS Pod.
Yes. Anything else, old man?
No, how many episodes? We're going to 110 episodes.
Next week will be 110.
I want a big shout out to our friends over at the Rod Peterson Show. Today they went on the air for episode 1500.
That's insane.
It's insane. 1500 shows. They're the number one rated sports talk show or talk show on the Game Plus network. They have quite a few different podcasts on there now, and they're the number one rated on the nation or on the network, and going strong. Good for you guys. Keep it going there, Mr. DuPont and Mr. Peterson.
Just to put that in perspective for people, they go live 5 days a week.
Yes.
That's 300 weeks of episodes. That is almost 6 years of episodes.
It's insane.
It's crazy. It's great to hear. And the fact that they were early to the digital space.
Yeah, hey.
They are they're on the networks, but they're still a digital product. They own everything themselves. They do everything themselves. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they're on YouTube, they're on Facebook, they're on TV, they're on radio. They've nailed it. They've done it right. They're kind of setting the standard, I think, that other shows should be striving to beat. So good on you guys. Keep it up.
And until next week, again,
when the old man promises he won't be drunk.
Don't make promises we can't guarantee.
Okay.
If we have to pre-record things, it might have to be like Monday or Tuesday that we're pre-recording. And
I work.
That doesn't mean you're not still going to be drunk from your week-long bender in Roatan. But until next week, folks, have yourselves a wonderful week. Hopefully the Canucks can keep this going, and maybe we'll have a commissioner announcement. Have a good week. Mwah. Peace.